Hello gang friends, are you here after yesterday's video? Did you come back? Let me know in the comments if you came back from yesterday's video. We're on part 2 of the strawberry, what's a word that begins with S that means like sensation. 3 words just came to mind. Strawberry sensation. We've done one with royal pink and we've cured it. Now we're taking this neon pigment. This is from a set that was from Temu. Pretty sure it's the same as a set that you can get from somewhere more expensive. And we're patting it on the bottom, working our way up. As we work our way up, we're going to put a little bit less pressure on. And also as we work up, more product is being deposited, so there's less on the brush. So that, along with less pressure, is going to fade it up. I'm not worried about it being too perfect because I'm doing it onto a tacky layer, so it's not as easy as doing it onto some matte layers. The brush I'm using is an Elf Cosmetics brush. I think I put the name on screen. So we don't have to top that. Sorry, no, wait. We don't have to cure that. But we top it and then we cure it. Then we're going to take this. This is some unicorn chrome or mermaid chrome, whatever it was, you know, when it first sort of came out. This iridescent chromey, but it's still see-through. So whichever one of those you have, you can use. Take your pick, whatever you want. I tried to go with one that had a pinky shift in the light, which really shows in real life, but not on bloody camera. So it's very annoying. So so what have we done? Yes, we've got that pigment on it, and now we're taking vivid green mixed with white. Both of them are gel paints to get this pastel green. Because the Madame Glam gel paints, once you've cured them, they take chrome, which is just amazing. You don't have to do the colour of something, then top it, then chrome it, blah, blah, blah. Just go straight onto the cured colour. So we'll do our little V's along the top. And then this here is a palette from Amazon. I'll try and find the link for it and I'll put it in the description, where you find a list of everything I've used and as appropriate emojis as possible next to each name. I really struggle sometimes. If you have a look, you'll find some of them quite funny. I do anyway. So we're putting that on this green bit, but trying to avoid going onto the pink area, because we haven't topped that pink area, but it has got the pigment on it. So if you go over it a tiny bit, it's not too bad, because when you dust it off, it might dust off because it won't sit on top of the other one. Yeah? We okay with that? And now I'm taking, I think that's royal pink mixed with some white, just to make a really pale pink. And we're going to do lots of little diddly dot dashes, seeds they are, and then top it, and then we're done. This one is so cute in real life. You can see the glow of the unicorn chrome on the pink more in real life, and it's so pretty. Oh, you can't see it, but you can see that it's got like a pearly vibe. So that's that one. That was inspired by, I put it on screen, wasn't looking, but I did put it on screen. It might have been Daily Charm, or was it someone else? I just went back and checked. It was Nails by Jen. Thank you, Nails by Jen. And then we're taking Legacy. Was that Legacy? Again, wasn't looking. I know, you're probably thinking, what am I looking at? Yeah, I just wasn't concentrating. So we've cured it and we've wiped and buffed. And now we're using Vivid Green to do our little V's for the calyx / leafy hat. Leafy hat's much better. I think more things should have less scientific names. Leafy hat. And we're going to cure that. Which one is this? Okay, now we're going to chrome that with this Vetsy green chrome. You can get money off at Vetsy and Madame Glam and Macart and Born Pretty and Julie Jewellery Loads of places. Have a look in the D description. Okay, it's late at night, or it's early in the morning. So we've chromed that, and now we're taking the application brush and some builder gel. And we're just doing a thin coat. I really have no idea what's about to come up. I've done 10 strawberries, and they all start with a base colour and then a leafy hat. What happens now? Oh, yes, this one. So we haven't cured that builder gel yet. And we're going to take some little diamonds and go over the whole thing and try and make them neat and in line with each other. It just so happened that they kind of fit perfectly in with the V's I'd made, which was just a coinkydink. But if there is a tiny little gap, don't stress, because once all of these are on, you're not going to see if there's a little discrepancy anywhere. So I won't make you watch the whole thing normal speed, just a few, just so you get a feel of how slow it goes. And then but I am going to make you watch it. I'm going to make you watch it. You can't click away. It's too late. You're in it now. You're committed. You're here till the end. So I'll speed it up though. Sometimes I think I spent the time doing it. If I just sort of fade into, okay, it's nearly done, or just, cut to it all being done, I kind of want to keep it seen for me as well, for my records of my efforts. It took about, I made mental note, which is never reliable, to look at how much time the clip was of me doing this. I think it was about 11 minutes. That sounds a bit much, doesn't it? But it's the time of picking one up on the cuticle stick, wiggling it around to get it in the right place. So it's not that long, but it is, get in the zone. I find it really enjoyable. Little fiddly things like this, which are fiddly but easy, doesn't take skill. And just, repetition. It was quite relaxing. So as I get to the corners, there are some bits that hang off the edge a tiny bit, I think. On a person, if you're doing this, as you get around the side walls, you're obviously not going to be able to go fully to the side walls because they're diamond shape and people don't have zigzaggy side walls. So just leave a gap. Leave a tiny bit of a gap. It won't be noticeable once the whole nail's done. And then I'll cure this, and then off screen, off camera, I added a bit more gel and put some on the tip because I forgot. And then, so we've cured that, and now we're doing another thin coat of the builder gel. You could use a base coat or something, but builder gel's thicker, so things aren't swimming around. When I put the diamonds on there, they weren't moving. And we're going to add tiny little gold dots, which are all stuck to the lid, little hollow dots, and add them in a polka dot pattern. I wanted to try and put them so that they were on a point where diamonds were all meeting, where the top of one, the bottom of the other, the left of one, the right of the other were meeting. But I couldn't for the life of me see what I was doing at all. It was just so glowy and red, so I just thought, let's just get them in a polka dot pattern, and that will suffice. We'll be good. I was going to say something else about this. What was it? Oh yeah, if you don't want to do a whole nail like it, you could do a chrome red, and then add just a few little patches of these diamonds, or even just a plain red, and do little patches, like 3 or 4, not necessarily in a perfect pattern, but just 3 or 4 touching in an area and some over there. That would look quite cool as well. But the whole thing is just awesome. So I cured those dots, and now I'm going to encapsulate. So I've done a thin sort of slip layer. I'm going to take a big bead of the gel and the application brush, and we're going to encapsulate. I'm not worrying about building an apex or structure. I just want to get it as even as possible and make sure that everything is under gel, so that when we come to file and smooth it out, we're not going to buff off any bits of diamonds, you know. And I made sure before they went in the lamp that it was nice and flat. There weren't any pokey uppy bits. So we're wiping, we're taking a tatty as fuck 240 file, and I'm going from side to side, but I'm also moving the nail as I go from side to side. I'm moving the nail side to side and the file and working upwards from the sides. I might do a video on how to file extensions and things, you know, how to file an overlay. And I'm going to go around the sides to get any pokey out bits. This way you definitely want to make sure it's in a thickish gel product. You could use a rubber base, maybe a couple of coats of that, or even one, just to make sure that they're definitely under there and they're not going to get touched when you file. And I'm taking the Madame Glam squishy buffer. I love this buffer, it's so good. I did it on a non-wiped nail, stupidly, which is why it's got red all over it, but that's okay. I won't tell anyone if you won't tell anyone. So we'll dust off. If you are doing this as an extension on someone, then obviously you will want to build an apex. And look how cool it looks matte. That looks cool. You can see the dots better when it's matte than shiny, but holy mother of all things delicious. Look at this. This is amazing. Oh my word. It's so, you know me, you know I'm very critical of my own work, but this, the bomb. It's the bomb. It's amazing. I don't say the bomb, I'm far too old for it, but it's the fucking bomb. Look at it. Look at it. Look at, I'm in love with that. That's so good. Imagine a full set would take you a while. But it would look insane. You could do different colour strawberries or different fruits. You could do different fruits with different coloured sequin. Oh, yeah. Right, so that's that one. Calm down, all right? Just calm down. Stop getting so hyper about things. It's the middle of the bloody night. Shh. Calm yourself. Okay, so we've got royal pink as a background. We've matted it. Velvetized it with the Madame Glam Velvet matte top. And now we're taking Super Cateye from Madame Glam. You need this. This isn't something you just want, this polish. This is something you need. And you can get 30% off. Segue. Using the link in the description and the code MISSJO30. This polish is so good. Firstly, just by itself, bananas. Add a colour on top, like a jelly on top, coconuts and bananas. I know. So this is the Madame Glam magnet, the double-ended magnet. And we'll cure that. We're going to take this Mirage 3D sculpting gel. I probably took a bit too much. I always forget when I'm looking at these, you know, when I'm getting a certain amount of paint on my brush or a certain amount of modelling this stuff. And I forget and then how small nails are. And I think, this is tiny. And then I move over to the nail and it's like, this is huge. But we stuck with it. And we're going to pat this over the heart. Well, the softened heart. And then we are going to, this is their silicone tool. I really like this. It's very small. You know the set that everyone's got. They're really big. This is dinky. But we're going to do that, and then we're going to use our fingers just to soften it, because I don't want any angles or any straight bits. I know I should be wearing gloves, but I just don't want to. So I'm just using my finger to soften it and try and make it even. I should have made this much better shape, much longer in the body. But I didn't, but I really should have. So you do it. Right now, I have not cured the sculpting gel because I want to push stuff into it. So I'm going to go over it with the Born Pretty red jelly. You can get money off there as well. And I'm still not going to cure it because I want to poke in some gold caviar beads. Look at that red over the silver Cateye. The super Cateye. Super, yeah, it's very well named. It's fudging super. So still don't cure it. We're going to prod in some gold caviar beads. I switch over to a different tool, the silicone tool, just to press it in. There's some issues here. One is that when I push it in, and if I move it around a bit, I end up getting a bit of the red jelly gel on the caviar beads, which is obviously going to change their colour a little bit. But I wanted to press them into the sculpting gel. So to do that, the sculpting gel had to be wet, but I wanted the sculpting gel area, the fucking strawberry was what I'm trying to say. I wanted it red. If I'd have done it red and then cured it, wouldn't be able to poke the beads in. If I'd have poked the beads in and then cured it, wouldn't be able to paint red because I'd just cover the beads. So you could poke them in, use a tiny brush with a bit of isopropyl alcohol on it, and try and wipe over the caviar beads, avoiding any of the red around it because it's still wet. Do you see where I'm going with this? It's a bit of a hoo-ha. So I just thought I will live with the caviar beads having a bit of red on them. There might be another way, is there? Could just make a red sculpting thing. Sculpting strawberry. Come on now. But then I wanted it to be that sort of see-through with the Cateye. So it was, you know, all these different things that work together but not all at the same time. But we did it anyway. We're adding leafy hats now. So I'm using the sculpting gel again, just making little leaf shapes. You know, sort of you know what a leaf looks like. Don't start trying to explain things that everybody knows. It's unnecessary. And then I'm going to use the tip of this silicone tool to carve out some little details. So I'm going to go down just making a little gap. I'm going to go down the center of it and then diagonally to make some little leaf veins. Don't overthink this sort of thing. I overthunk, and got in a right mess, and then got really annoyed with myself and just went, just do a bloody leaf, woman. And it worked, so don't stress. It's fine. I'm adding I rolled a little bit of the sculpting gel to get a little skinny, tiny, rolledy, sausagey bit. Sausages and strawberries, what a combo. And I plonked that in the middle, and then we're going to cure. I did cure each leaf after doing it as well. Then I thought, we've got this glass vibe going on with the jelly. Let's do that. But because I folded a leaf over the strawberry, the green jelly over that was just, it wasn't a look. So we're going to use some gel paint. You can use polish if you like. So we'll cover that with, I think I've got green mixed with, I've got the vivid green and the normal green. And now we cured that. I've talked a lot, haven't I? Well, there's a lot to say. So we cured that. Now I'm taking just the green, and I'm going to go in my little dents. And maybe a bit along the, floof, get the fluff out of here. A bit just, no, oh, okay. And now, this is going so well. Now we're going to top everything. And the good thing is that not only are our caviar beads squished into the sculpting gel, but now we're topping them as well. So they're in there, they're not going anywhere. I think if we didn't top them at this point, they might pop out their holes, you know? So now they're topped, and that's it. Just like that. it took longer than it looks in the video. See what I mean by the beads? They're not perfectly gold. Kind of annoyed at myself about that, but I couldn't think of another way to do it to get this effect. And the shape of the strawberry, not good. It's an apple. One of you mentioned in the last video that one of the strawberries was, the bling one was more like an apple. I mistakenly said tomato. I meant apple. But if you do the strawberry shape better, you're golden. Okay, right, ready? Are you ready for the next one? I'm ready. Are you? Yeah? Okay, all right, we'll go. We have wiped and buffed our royal pink background because we're going to use a matte in a minute. So instead of having an extra matte, we just wiped and buffed. So I'm using red gel paint to create my strawberry as a heart, but softening the point and softening between the humps. I kind of started to lose my strawberry shapes a bit, didn't I? They're too hearty. And now we're going to chrome. So that's a gel paint, the Madame Glam red gel paint that's ready for chrome. So I'm going to try and avoid getting it on the background because it hasn't got a Teflon matte, which is Votino's matte that when you put it on, chrome won't stick to it. So you can do isolated bits of gel on top of the Teflon matte. And then when you chrome them, it will only stick to them. However, so I'm putting this Teflon matte on, realised I got it a bit thick, so I started to sort of thin it out on the pink, but it's still over the straws. But then in a minute, it did start to slightly drag the chrome, so be light-handed with it, float it. But you don't want to float it too thick because it'll, you know. And then, do you know? It might crinkle in the lamp. In case you didn't know. This whole video, I'll be like, I'm doing this, you know. There you go. So now I'm using vivid green gel paint to do the Leafy hat. Thinking I'll cure this and chrome it. It's on a Teflon mat, so it will only stick to that bit. Oh wait, no, this bit does work out okay, I think. So I'm doing the green bits. I'm not going to cure it because I'm going to do the yellow. See, don't cure yet. I'm going to do the yellow using electric yellow. I'm going to do the seeds because I thought if I cure the green and then do the yellow and cure the yellow, the greens are going to have had a double cure and it might not be ready, might not be chromable. But old idiot over here could have just cured the green, chromed it, then done the yellow and, you know, but I thought I'd do it all in one go. I feel like I'm making no sense whatsoever. So now I'm taking the Vetsy green chrome again. We're going to chrome over the green bit. I'm not that bothered about, I'm using a sponge. Sometimes that helps. It takes off the excess. I must have a bit of gel up there or something, but we'll wipe that off. But it was still sticking to parts of the mat. What did I do wrong? So I used my brush to clean up, and now I'm very concerned at this point with the Magician palette from Vetsy. Because now the gold is sticking over the red areas and it shouldn't. And then it looks worse now because I decided to add more chrome. Because where I tried to sponge it off, which does take off excess chrome, I'd wiped a bit too much off. So I had to put more chrome on it and then do this. What a ball ache. Get a brush, wet it, but not dripping wet, just damp, and go around every bloody seed and try and wipe off the gold chrome that had gone on to the red. So I don't know what happened there with my Teflon mat. But I don't know. I must have done something wrong. So maybe I didn't cover the strawberry enough because it works fine, you know, every other time I've used it. So I'm guessing it's a me thing. I'm getting the body of the strawberry first and then going around the edges and then doing these bits last, the hat last, because they're little thin bits. If I started with those, by the time I'd got to the bottom of the strawberry, covering it with top coat, they might have bled out, you know, spread a bit onto the matte background. So when you're topping something on a matte background and you only want that bit shiny, do the skinny bits last, do the small areas last. But despite my little chroming snafu, I love this so much. Everything's chrome. Chrome on chrome on chrome. Yes, so pretty. And better in real life, as always is, you know, with the light catching it. And the green bit, I wasn't too worried about rubbing in the chrome. You know, if you don't rub chrome in enough, it goes sort of sparkly, speckly, or has like a shimmer to it as opposed to a flat shine. I wasn't too worried about that, but rub it in more if you are. Right, we've done, oh wait, okay, so I'm taking some modelling gel and thought, I could make this red. Let's add some red gel paint to it and squish it. And then I thought, you should be wearing gloves. And then I thought, oh well. You know, when you just think, F it. So if you wore gloves, this would be a way to colour your white modelling gel if you want. But use gloves. So I decided, instead of using gloves, I'll just do them in white and paint them after. So we're making a little straubs. Start with an oval, pinch it at the bottom, flatten it a little bit at the top. I think that's where I was going wrong with my other shapes of strawberries. I should have made them more flat at the top. Oh well. And then I'm using this silicone tool again to just make it more strawberry shaped. I've sped this up and I've cut bits. I faffed around with that for ages. And when I was editing, I realised that from the moment I started faffing to the moment I ended faffing, nothing changed. It was the perfect demonstration of the word faffing. So faff if you like, but if you get a shape you're happy with, just move on to the next bit. Even if it happens quickly, that's my issue. If it happens quickly, I'm like, that can't be right. Faff some more. So this one I'm doing the same shape, but I'm making it flatter. I'm not making it domed, I'm making it a bit flatter. Because that's going to be a slice of strawberry, a strawberry cut in half. We're going to use our dotting tool. This is the Man of Glam one. I think it's smaller than the smallest, or it's about the same size as the smallest one in that set that we've all got. You know that set we've all got with the swirly colours through them? And we're going to poke some little holes in it. This was, let me tell you this bit first. We're going to use this to make a diamond in the middle. So just tilt it at an angle and make a little diamond. And then we're going to go round the diamond again, but not in the same place. Just so it's a bit more scruffy, you know. And then do we cure now? I think maybe we cure. This was inspired by, I wanted to do this, but then I saw a Nails by Dev. You know when you open some apps and you see something, but then it instantly bloody refreshes when you've opened, and you can't find it again. Could have just looked on her page. What an idiot. Anyway, so I saw that she'd done one with an open slice. So that's where some inspo is from for this. And now we have cured it and we are painting it red. And I'm just going to go around the outside, of the open strawberry. We'll call it the open strawberry. It starts to take on a resemblance of other thing, but let's not discuss it. And then I'm taking the end of the Ball Pit Nails Twice as Nice brush, any little blendy brush you've got will do, and I'm just patting around that red on the open one. Don't get fancy with it, just pat and smush it a bit towards the centre, because we want the centres to stay sort of white. And then I'm adding some pink. Don't think I've cured this yet. This is pink gel paint, and just smushing that as well. Nothing fancy, just a smush, just a little patty smush. And then we can cure that. Can we? Yes. Yes, we can. Bob the Builder. Oh, I haven't told you the cool thing. Okay, let me tell you. I'm adding yellow gel paint into the holes, and I had to sort of wiggle around a bit so we got the walls of the holes, you know. So we'll do that and then cure it. And now we're going to sculpt some leaves again. So similar to before, make a little leafy shape and then add, do I add some? Yeah, add some detail just by pushing into it. It doesn't want to naturally stick to this. You have to kind of smush it onto itself. So you'll have to apply a bit of pressure. A couple of times I got the leaf to where I wanted it, and then it just pinged off the nail. So I had to smush it a bit more. I've added another one, cut it, because it took me fucking ages. I know, doesn't look like it does, but it did. And then we're adding another little stem. Let's call it a stem. And then I'll do the same on the other one. Oh, and some tiny little bits. Tiny little stringy bits. But then press them down to flatten them a bit and make them a bit more triangle-y for the hat. So here's the cool thing that happened. We're going to paint those. Oh, I'm adding some green into vivid green, but I'm not mixing it because I don't mind if there's, you know, little streaky bits of different colour, because it might look a bit more real. But I end up where I keep painting over it. It does end up kind of going the same colour. So here's the cool thing, right? This is amazing. One of my clients, Ali, she's like deputy head gang friend. She is in Disney World, Land, Disney. We're going to add some white here and probably smush it just to brighten up the centre. I'm going to guess it's the one in California. And I got a text, a message from Ali. I was sat in the garden today, bloody sunny enough to sit in the garden. And this is what it said. Blew my socks off. It says, OMG, I'm at Disneyland. Oh, Disneyland Cali. Okay. And the lady behind me in the queue had nice nails with an ice chrome similar to my current ones. I complimented her and she asked if I knew any UK nail techs. I'm topping this, by the way. I said, no, only MISSJO, and she loves you. She says you got her through COVID. She only asked me just in case I'd heard of you. Oh, how mental is that? So Ali and Shannon. Oh, here's our little 3D thingamabobs. So Ali and Shannon from Shannon the Nail Tech from Oregon. Two gang friends meeting. How crazy is that? Here they are. That's Ali on the left and Shannon on the right. Blew my mind. Gang friends in the wild. How amazing is that? I just can't believe it. So, hi Ali and hi Shannon. Thank you so much for watching, Shannon. I think I recognise your picture maybe from have you got it as your profile picture on YouTube here or from comments maybe? That was insane. That was so insane. I feel like a famous person. But very aware I'm not. So this is all 10. Let me know which one is your favourite. Let me know if you watched the other video as well. Give me a little strawbs emoji if you're still here. Thank you so much if you are still here after my incessant rambling in today's video. Definitely want to know which one is your favourite, and can you guess which one is my favourite? Actually, there's two that are my favourite. But more importantly, I want to know your favourite. Come and say hello in the comments. If you can, give this video a thumbs up. Apparently it helps. I appreciate you being here so much. Comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.